Alright, I'm back. We'll probably take a couple minutes before our guys are ready, but as soon as they are ready, we'll hop into it. So INexorable is a bit of a question mark. He is a Brazilian Terran that has been dominating a lot of the lower 5k MMR matches for a while. Up to the point where it's like, alright, it's enough. And we give him a real step up in competition, because that is what the BB has always been about for me. If you get a couple wins, you get some really tough opponents. Now obviously Cham has had some wins, but then he also had a loss. And this time he was the favorite. But Inex, he's been owning everywhere we go. People rave about his TVP. Let's see how he does against a damn strong European Protoss. Déca is definitely ranked a little bit higher than Inex. But I don't know. Inex seems good. He seems to love TVP. I've had a couple good games with him. I think Déca's the favorite. But I can see Inex put up a really good fight. And potentially make it a close series. And if INexorable wins this one, I am entering my INexorable arc, where I will generally believe that we've got another Kalazur on our hands. But this is definitely, I think, the most difficult challenge that I've given him in a while. Or ever, even. Hello, Elmer. We've seen that joke, mate. I'm aware of that joke, and we've seen this joke. I hope you're having a good weekend. Elmer Tante. I can handle it, mate. I've known you for a couple of years. I am familiar with your game. I can handle it. You miss watching my Phoenix playing days? I literally streamed 6 hours of Starcraft yesterday. I did a couple gameplays today. I did a whole bunch of games on Monday. Those Phoenix plays haven't gone anywhere. They're still here. Just because you're not watching doesn't mean they ain't here, mate. They are here. That is indeed the joke that got him banned in Zombie Grub, her stream. He's asking for the map pool. I can give him the map pool. Here's the map pool that was listed at the TLMC document. Yeah, but you're not around. Yeah, but that's not my fault. My Phoenix plays haven't gone anywhere. Aren't these guys preparing? Crazy? Apparently not, Jimmy. Maybe Déca just thinks that he's a big favorite. He can show up. A little bit of Protoss magic. Tomorrow night we've got a fun community tournament, the Passion Craft. Our friend Patches has asked me to cast it. And I think I will do it. Because I'm obviously going to be gone for a while soon. And I'd like to get a bit of activity in before I leave. So I think tomorrow night I'll cover the Passion Craft tourney. And I think I will actually play in it as well. I think I'll display until I'm out, and then I'll cast. You miss my hot tub stream days? Nobody would miss those, mate. This belly is not meant for that category. Maybe later this year, mate, if we actually get some physical exercise in a bit more frequently. I've played very little padel this year. We can dream. Wait, maybe perhaps one day there'll be a jacuzzi in this backyard, and then I'll do a little poker stream from my jacuzzi, or I'll do an F1 race from my jacuzzi. I think Starcraft wouldn't work, but right now there is no hot tub section belly to show off, or six packs rather, and there definitely is no hot tub. So that's gonna be difficult, but maybe one day. Never say never. The Dancing Viking is Love Parade. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking me, mate, but no, I would not go casually to Berlin for a music festival or a dance festival. My passion for that kind of stuff is not that big. I think some of you guys know that I did go to Tomorrowland once in Belgium. That is kind of like the mecca of EDM dance festivals. And it was a cool experience, but I didn't love it that much that it'd be like, I have to go again next year, or any of these music festivals in the Netherlands that I see people literally take loans for because the tickets are so expensive. My passion for it is not that big. If I ever have like a nice group of folks, or let's say Rainer is here in the summer and he says, I really want to go to this thing, will you come along? Of course I'll come along, but not by myself would I organize that or travel to Berlin for it. How much are Dutch hot tubs? That's a good question, Lego. I believe that it's not as expensive as you think it is. I I think for maybe around 5,000 euros, you can have a jacuzzi in your backyard. Which is obviously serious money, but it's also not like, wow, that is only reserved for the absolute elite on this planet. But it's not something that I don't have a big backyard. I have a very tiny backyard. So if I would ever get a jacuzzi, that would take up like 70% of my backyard. I don't know if that's really the play. Yeah. I think we're gonna play all these games on Central, by the way. A jacuzzi in the living room. I feel like that would smell like no tomorrow, no? I think I'll pass on that too. I think that would smell like no tomorrow. Yeah, but I don't think Brazil is fair. We can do Central. Hot tops are legit. Just buy a used one. I sold my one for around 400. That is very cheap. Yeah, but it's also a lot of maintenance, right? It's not something that you can just put down once and never look at again. It's something that would take time and care and effort. I have a lot of other dreams, guys, before I feel like, you know what I need in my life? A jacuzzi or a hot tub. I think that's pushing it a little. At this point, I think I'm dreaming of a car. Alrighty. Hello, Nocti. Nocti stole my points. But you know what, Nocti? I got my 6k anyway. After my meeting, I played 4 games of Battle Aces. I lost the first, and then I got 3 wins in a row. Or maybe it was like win, lose, win, win, win. I won everything really quick. I'm 6k. in the wrong game, but I'm 6k. Alright, guys. The second best of 5 of the night. Thank you so much to Short. I hope I said that correct. For the Prime, you are much appreciated. The toughest challenge up to date for our hyped Brazilian Terran. I'm excited for this one. I hope it's going to be a good one. Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
Top left side of Whispers of Gold. We are looking at the main base of our Brazilian Terran. It is INexorable, aka Smifer in Twitch chat or on some of the other channels. You believe in DTs? That'd be dirty. Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of one of the many good French Protoss players out there. This is Déca. Déca DMs me every now and then. He's like, Roddy, did you forget about me? Well, I told him I did not forget about him, but I don't see him in a lot of tournaments. He said that he has to work on the Mondays, and that is why he's often not able to play in the Monday Night Weekly. But he would always love to play in the BBB. When Inex said that he hasn't played in a while and he had to play again, but he keeps on posting all these good results. I was like, you know what? This is the match to make. INexorable versus Déca. Is it going to be tough for Déca? Absolutely. For Inex? Absolutely. But it should be. Ooh. Did he pick up on that, guys? I think he picked up on it. I think he saw the probe turnaround. That is a massive scout for INexorable. Ooh, that comes down to milliseconds, guys. That is a big scout. Have you forgotten about me, Roddy? No, but you are not quite the level where I would invite you every week, Holy Spirit. I don't think you can complain with the amount of love that you got from me. Compare the love that you got on this channel to any of the other Starcraft channels you watch. And then ask yourself, Holy Squid, who has been the best to me? Maybe it has been that old man from the Netherlands. He did not forget about you. There's only so much that I can give. So Inex got the scout off. It is going to be a double gate opening. Both gases have been taken as well. And Déca even stole a gas from INexorable. I think if you're Inex here... Is this a play? Is this a play? Reaper is going to the other side of the map. I don't know if I like this. I feel like now we are playing a rather dangerous game. Maybe it's going to be okay. Stalker is actually sleeping on the job. Stalker should start working on the SCV. Will it get to the SCV in time? Yes, it will. Reaper got 1 probe. And Déca will cancel the shield battery. Very ambitious by INexorable to build a bunker in the main base. Maybe he thought for his... No, he scouted, right? I don't know. I don't know what he thought there. But okay. We should be very safe here. I don't think we're in any danger of losing our bunker. We don't want to lose the Reaper. It's so important to keep this Reaper around because you want to check. Is my opponent expanding? Is he still on one base? As a Terran, you don't have a lot of vision right now on the other side of the map, so the single Reaper is incredibly important. Shout out to my man Blonde Master THC for the 44 months. The Reaper is in a bit of trouble. Grenade is not good enough, I think. Is good enough. It is good enough. Well done. Nexus goes down now for our French Protoss. Barracks, reactor, cyclone on the way. What did we just cancel, guys? Was that just a depot? 75? A bunker? Yeah, that would make sense, because depots is something you normally don't cancel. Maybe he was worried for a little bit that this would have been a one base blink stalker follow-up. And because of that, he went for the safety bunker. When he realized it was not going to be one base blink, he said, I don't need it, I'm going to cancel it. It's going to be charged first on the side of Déca. 4 Jumi builds everywhere we go. Wing end would be proud. Keep the adapt out. You gotta be careful with the cyclone, but so far micro is good. Honestly, guys, Inex, I would absolutely say, is passing the test here in the first 5 minutes. Not making a lot of mistakes. Our Brazilian Terran. Is this truly the second coming of Calazur? I'd be so impressed if Inex wins this series, no cap. I like the match. I thought it was going to be a bit too tough, but I was like, it's okay, let's just see. Inex is getting so much success in the lower MMR tournaments, up to the point where I almost think he is just quite a bit better than what his MMR seems to hover around most of the time. And so far in the first 5 minutes here, I really think that the man is almost flawless. I don't think he's done a lot of things wrong. If anything. Throws down a scan. I think this is a pretty decent scan, even if he doesn't get to see any tech, any units. Just to have a feel for how many probes are there on the other side of the map. Have gases been taken? Déca is going full lethal over here. One proxy gate filled into the next proxy gate. SOS and Zest in their prime would be incredibly proud of this. Déca is also scouting. I don't know what he's scouting for, but doesn't really matter. It feels that Déca's army is going to get one very big power spike when he's got Zero Charge, obviously, and Storm. But if he doesn't do game-ending damage with that power spike, I do really think he's in trouble. Great scan here by Inex. Very, very, very good scan. Sees the High Templars, sees the timing of the robotics facility, sees the gases as well. Sure, it's not cheap to throw down these scans, but it's important. Déca is often around 5,700 MMR, Swissnik. INexorable is a little bit more like 5,300, but is clearly better than that MMR. And that is why I made this match. Normally a 400 MMR gap can be massive, but I really believe that Inex has the level, the skills to hang with his opponent. And so far he is living up to that. Look at the army supplies, guys. 43 against 18. Now Storm is done. And Storm can obviously make up for a big army supply deficit. But Inex is good. And since Déca went for such a funky opening and he doesn't have any map vision, like playing TVP or PVT from his angle, and you don't have any observers, and you don't have a lot of units or probes on patrol, this is, I think, very, very, very difficult to play. Widowmine would be very useful here. Obviously, High Templars are less threatening. A couple of Marines here could stim. They throw water balloons. Widowmine actually burrows too. There's a good connection. Even softens up one of the High Templars. Nexus gets cancelled. I don't think Inex needs to do anything too crazy. Keeping your opponent on 2 bases is totally fine. There's no need for you to throw away units. Absolutely fantastic. Just a great little move out, right? Great job with the Widowmine there. Great job with the little flank. denying the base, knowing his opponent has a lack of vision. Spotted a couple of units left inside of the main base, so he knew that the doors were wide open. This is a little bit risky, mate. It might work out, guys, but he is playing with fire. INexorable, are you certain about this double drop? Okay, this is gonna work out. As long as you get a couple probes here, it's already good. And he won't just get probes, he's gonna get a stock. He's gonna get a second stock with the High Templar. And we've got a drop as well in the natural. That one is not doing all that much. But this was already good enough. Already good enough. Killed 7 workers, a High Templar, and a bunch of stalkers. And he's buying time until he can get Ghost out. Honestly, pretty risky gaming. But they say you have to risk it for the biscuit. I was listening to somebody, I think I was listening to Pig. Pig was covering his qualifier. And Pig said you have to risk it for the business. And I was like, what? Which business? What business are you in? If I was Déca, I'd be fuming. Because this is one of these games where this kind of feels like you're so handicapped. But you're not going to leave yet. Like, you just don't leave this game. You sure Pig has a jacuzzi? With all these Sabatons, mate. At this point, I'd be upset if he doesn't. The best not to listen. I like listening to Pig. I think Pig is fun. Sometimes he can get a bit dramatic. He's like, "Ooh," and he makes some very funny little noises. But I always enjoy listening to Piggy. It's like I really enjoy listening to ZG as well. Like, if ZG is invested in a series, if it's a series that he's looking forward to, especially at offline events, I think ZG is amazing to listen to. I like casting with Pig, and I like listening to Pig. Because you can say a lot of things about Piggy, and you can obviously say that sometimes he's a bit too dirty or whatever. But the man knows RTS, the man knows Starcraft. I will not even always agree with him, but I always get where he's coming from, and he doesn't just say random gibberish to fill up a sentence. I know, Zigga, that's why I gave him a real tough opponent today, but so far INexorable is playing a mighty fine first game. He's closing it out like a pro as well, like a seasoned veteran. He's not getting too excited over his lead. Keeps on expanding, he keeps on building workers, he keeps on making his army better with Ghost and Lips. Honestly, INex ever playing again in any tournament for 5,300 players and below would be a scam. Hello, Brat. I've seen enough, guys. After 11 minutes, if INex ever signs up again for a tournament of 5-3 and below, the man should be arrested. I'm gonna send the Guardia Civil after him. I don't know if they have those in Brazil, but they have it in Spain. That was not the best Wither Mine drop, but that's alrighty. 5.5 I can live with, Alex. I think 5.5 is still fair. Like, I do think that INex also excels against Protoss. I think this is the matchup that he's just got the best feeling of. That is a big storm, though. Ooh, and we step back into the storm. Alright, he's allowed again in 5-3. I take everything back. We are going to snipe High Templar. That is good. We could land an EMP. We do land an EMP. Maybe on all 3. There are a few Zealots showing up right before this base is a planetary. We can... oh, he missed the EMP there. That's a little bit unfortunate. We can land a snipe. That is exactly what he does. Throws out an EMP on the Zealots. A few more EMPs on High Templars. I think 2 storms remain. Either 2 or 3 storms remain. But this Terran army is so freaking big. Yeah, we lost 13 SCVs on the other side of the map, but I don't think it matters at all. INexorable, the second coming of Kalazur, is here. And even with by far and away the toughest challenge that I gave him up to date, he is looking mighty fine in game 1. Is it good enough to win the series? I don't know. It was obviously a dream start, a great scout, etc. But it's a very impressive first game. A very, very, very impressive first game. A little bit crazy with the drops, but hey, he made those work. Those were actually plus EV as well. Killing the High Templars, killing the Stalkers, trading out some army. He didn't throw away his lead. Ghost Marauder is so freaking good underneath Medevacs. This game is over. INexorable takes the 1-0 lead. Sure, it was a game where a lot of things went right from the beginning. Not everything went according to plan, because he did try that bunker, and that bunker didn't really work out, but he just played it out so calm and so cool, so collected, like he's been in these scenarios a million times, and clearly is not intimidated by the skill that Déca can bring. It's early. It's only one game in the best of 5, and obviously Inex ain't there yet, but so far, impressive. Very good. I know, guys. Piggy can be all over the place, but I do think that if he ever gets serious, I think Pig is good. It just shows that Pig is very active in the community, not only when it comes to like casting some games on his channel, but he still plays. He clearly watches. You can say a lot of things about Pig, but you can't say that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Sure, his humor is not going to be for everyone, but that goes for, I think, most people, right? I think any caster that is going to try to bring some humor, whether it is to a big international offline event or to their own stream, a lot of people will appreciate it, and some people will be like, that's not my kind of humor. That's alright. That's why we're not forced to watch a Twitch channel. We can just watch whatever we want. Oh, for sure. He's a great guy, Dina Daniel. Now, Piggy is a very sweet man. The jokes are out there, but he's a very, very sweet man. He means well. He's just a hard worker. Honestly, I can't really say a lot of bad things about Pig. I mean, he's not very good in Starcraft, but then again, who is, right? It's tough to be. Kidding, Piggy. Alright, the game 2, guys. Ley lines it is. And also when he analyzes my builds, I feel like he does get those wrong a little. He makes things up. He says things that aren't there, that don't make any sense. But outside of that, 10 out of 10 guy.
Round 2, fight!
A very impressive first game coming out of this man. Definitely an underdog based on MMR, based on history, ladder performance, but played excellent in the first game of this second series of the night. Can he keep on performing at this level? This is INexorable, aka Smither, or Smither. Top right side, I still wouldn't count him out yet. He's an excellent French Protoss, one of the many. Now he is sending out another worker to build another pylon on the other side of the map. I'm honestly not sure how much I like this. Maybe he thinks, well, it went so bad in that first game, it will always go better in the second. I don't think this kind of stuff is necessary, because I think you're playing a risky game, and if you're the favorite, I would say keep the game simple, focus on defending, but that is not what this man wants to do. Representing GDAT, this is Déca. Yeah, the colors are a little bit out there. I mean, one of them is Protoss, the other one is Terran. That should help. But yeah, I'll try to make sure they'll pick different colors next game. Guru was out there, Gref. Guru was a little much. Yeah, most of the time the proxy gateway openings are not great. I mean, it could just be Marine into Reactor, right? I think Marine into Reactor is okay here. He will scout. Now the real question is, will INexorable find what he is looking for? The scout is honestly kind of picture perfect. Marine goes on a little journey. Obviously got cheesed in game 1, if you want to call it a cheese. Is gonna find, okay, he was a little bit slow there to react. You can really see that he kind of shift this Marine in the dark. How problem? Well, we have double depot. I mean, Inex is flying. He's gonna respect this like no tomorrow. Not one, but double bunker. But yeah, that's a bit of a similar setup. Guru would not play in the Big Brain Bouts, Nocti. I don't know. I don't mind banter. You guys know that I'm not the one to shy away from a little joke. And even if sometimes they're on the edge, I don't really mind. But someone like Guru would never be eligible. I would never invite him. And if I would ever invite him, the folks over at Basilisk would be like, Roddy, what on earth are you doing? I mean, Strange would be alright. It's just that I personally have not had the best interactions with Strange. I don't know how bad Strange obviously I don't understand Russian, right? So I don't really know what he says on his stream. I think Strange is a little bit like Christiana, right? Where they can be a bit feisty. They're not always going to be the friendliest, but it's not comparable to the behavior that Guru was displaying in the past. Like, some of it, guys, is a bit spicy, is a bit on edge, right? It's like, oh, look at me being adventurous. And some of it is being straight up idiotic. Guru went across the line of straight up idiotic, and that's why I would never invite someone like that. But a little bit of banter or a tiny bit of spiciness or a no GG or a whisper after the game. Is that kind of stuff great sportsmanship? No, perhaps not. But it's not the end of the world for me. Yeah, he is a good player, Gruff, I know. I'd never say anything about his ability to play the game. So both of them, guys, have some invisible plans over here. INexorable is heading towards the cloaked banshees. And Déca is going for a very quick Dark Shrine. It's a one base Dark Shrine. I mean, he tried to expand behind an opening like this last game. It didn't work out. Since Inex, honestly, I feel like Déca is playing the kind of series that is just gonna allow INexorable to get more and more comfortable and allow INexorable to shine more and more. I think the best way to play against someone like Inex is just you go for a quick expand, you create your economic lead, you walk around with a couple of Blink Stalkers, and you take it from there. The series that Déca is playing right now, I think, would be a perfectly fine series if he was the underdog. Let's say there is a world where Déca has to play against somebody like Spirit, and he plays like this against Spirit, I'd be like, oh, I like it. Yeah, it may not work, but it's cool, it can work, you can get lucky, you can also get a whole lot of momentum on your side if one or two things go your way. I feel like if you're the favorite, it doesn't make a lot of sense to play like this. Because you're giving your opponent the chance to just get a massive build order lead. DTs are gonna show up. Will INexorable see it in time? He's gonna raise the depot. So raising the depot is good. How many scans do we have? He's got one scan, but at this point he doesn't have a lot of firepower. And it seems like INexorable is just gonna give up on the low ground altogether. And he says, F it! We're gonna do it with this arm. You can't lose your Cyclone. Inex is kind of throwing now. Oh, Inex, mate. Inex, you did not have to move out like this. You didn't have to do it like this. Loses the Banshee. And now he needs to scan here as well. What was this? Inex, the start was so good, so promising. But the DTs make our Brazilian Terran player panic. And this is perhaps where we can see a tiny bit of that lack of experience. Where in the first game he displayed so much patience. Felt that he made all the correct choices in a somewhat unusual scenario in game 1. And here in game 2, he makes the choices he should not have made. Ay, ay, ay. That was a very unfortunate move out, guys. Déca with the Resonating Glaive. Adept follow-up. Still throwable for Déca? Yeah. I would agree. It is throwable, but now Déca is actually in a good position. Déca is in the lead. He's going up to 3 bases. And we should have never... Honestly, the Stalkers could kill the Orbiter here, guys. The Stalkers could kill the Orbiter. It's going to blink forward, goes for the Raven instead. With no SCVs in sight to repair this Oracle. I think Inex is kind of cooked. It's also, I think, hard to mentally stay in a game like this where you feel like, man, I was off to another good start, right? This was going well. And if he would have just harassed with the Banshees, check if there is a third base, keep them alive, and then we throw down a scan to kill the DTs, this game would have been perfectly fine. He's now going to lose a Tech Lab as well. And it will all come crumbling down. The Raven is in danger. Marauder gets picked off. The Raven gets sniped. Oh, Inex. Shame. That first game was beautiful. For a performance of the underdog, I think he did everything right and he played excellent. He got himself in a really good position here in game 2 as well. But by moving out right when the DT showed up, he kind of lost the Banshee for nothing. And after 8 minutes, we are all tied up. I think here For the first time, it kind of shows why INX is perhaps not at that 5.8, 5.9 level yet on the ladder consistently. Because this was a mega strong build order for him. He was in a really good spot. And if he would have just done more of the same of last game, I think he could have taken a 2-0 lead here. Oh, Bully, there are people who would say, no, I don't want to do that. It's about winning. You know, Bully, there are some people that I play Padel with. And it's like, I take it very chill because our level is so bad. And often we're on the older side of things as well, right? None of us are teenagers that are on track to becoming the next world champ. There is literally nothing on the line other than a fun activity with people from the neighborhood, a tiny bit of exercise, you hit a couple balls. Then some people are like, no, I want to win. It's about winning. And they'll even like call certain balls in when they were out. And I'm like, what are we doing? There's nothing on the line. None of us are ever going to become a world champ. Like, this is incredibly pointless. Why so competitive? Like, yeah, I also want to do good, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, who cares? Oh. I think it is, maybe it's different for us because as I think video gamers, we are exposed to the level of competition very often, or at least the feeling of being competitive. And then you just kind of get used to it, right? And you learn how to handle certain emotions better. And maybe for people who don't play video games competitively or semi-competitively, like those little hours, that's what they live for. That's where they will peak. And I was like, well, I'm just here to get a couple steps in, mate, and have a good time. Enjoy the sun, but if this is a really important match to you, then it is what it is. Good luck, and let's make it a great hour. Round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
If they're playing with me, Master Chobo, they're also not going to be the champ of Zuidland. That is also not happening. There are a few guys here that are quite good. And that doesn't include my brother, even though my brother does think that he is included in the list of people that is very good. I have to get it on the record. Because my brother thinks he's very good at everything. Top left side of Persephone. We are looking at the main base of a Brazilian Terran. Honestly, it should have been a 2-0 lead. Instead, we're all tied up. But he's still playing a great series. I'm already pretty proud of him. This is INexorable. Hello, Faded. He deserves it. If you would know my brother, Faded, you would know that he absolutely deserves it. In the bottom left side of Persephone, we are looking at the main base of the man who I truly expect, especially seeing how those final 3 minutes of Game 2 played out, to just slow things down a little bit and play a little more normal, slightly more macro-oriented series. Because he should be fine in those kinds of games. It is our French Protoss around 5,700 MMR on the ladder. It is Déca. Lambo Hero Series is quite close. That's awesome. What's the score, Jimmy? And they're doing a best of 7 grand final, I assume, right? It's 3-1 for Hero, I guess. Because if it was Lambo, I think you guys would have gone nuts. I didn't mean it like that, Lacey. I hope that. I don't know if you're making fun of me or not. I don't mean that. Like, unless you play games, you're never competitive. But I just noticed that some of these people, they don't do daily. They don't compete in anything on a daily basis. They've got normal jobs. They've got their family, and then that like 1 hour of padel that I see as a fun little outdoor activity to get some exercise in. They see it like, this is that one moment of where I'm gonna bring out my incredibly competitive side. I was like, honestly, I'm not really here for that, man. I'm here to chill. Like, I just wanna have a couple good rallies. The score is not that important to me. I already compete all day, every day. Some people take it overly serious. And if it's an actual competition, like I would get it. If there is a prize or something, but if it's literally for nothing, not even for the leaderboards, absolutely nothing, then I think you can dial it down a notch. And you can just be like, hey man, like, I get it, you know, you want to do good, you want to have the feeling that you're a winner, that's okay, but we really don't need to get attitude over this random hour. It's not that important. Yeah, Hero, but Lambo is making good games. I really hope this map makes it to the next map. This one, Jimmy? This is the one with the speed zones, right? Yeah, I like it. I've seen a couple of decent games on it. I wasn't certain, Lacey, if you were making fun of me. Because obviously it's not just gamers, right? I'm sure that plenty of people can be competitive in other things. Whether it's like, for instance, Pokemon the card game or Magic the Gathering, right? That could be a form of competition that people expose themselves to. But yeah, if you don't do any of that and you don't play games and often your 1 hour of exercise, that's your moment where you're gonna peak. It's like, well, alright, fair enough. We have gone for a 7 Marine drop, is that correct? Yep, a 7 Marine drop and a triple Hellion opening. So Inex is gonna go for this medevac drop in the main, hoping that Déca is gonna pull all the units. Wait, there's an SCV in the mix. What? He's gonna build a bunker? What the hell is even that? INexorable, what the hell is even this? Couple of Hellions in the natural. There aren't too many probes to kill at this point. Thought we would be able to kill a few. Okay. Most certainly a build. But the double battery is absolutely goated here for Déca. This is one of these games, guys, where if you don't have double battery, I think you lose bare minimum 5, if not a whole lot more. But with the battery in the natural, battery in the main, and I also think that's something you can always justify if you're the favorite. You shouldn't take too much damage. There's Notion at my front door. Is there? Who's at my front door? Oh, just shadows. I thought somebody rang my door. Just people walking by. It's a way to create more panic with the bunker. Yeah, I like it. I have seen it come online as well once every 50 games. It's just one of these ideas that would also go a lot better if there is no shield battery in the main base. Unfortunately for INexorable, where a lot of things went right for him in the beginning of game 1, in the beginning of game 2, very little goes right for him here at the start of game 3. Doesn't mean that he's absolutely cooked, but... Oh, Liberator. Liberator showed up, Déca didn't see it, I didn't even really keep track of it. Forced a recall, that's nice, that's gonna buy some time. Now we don't have to worry about Stalkers blinking into the main or natural or whatever. Bully, that's funny. 8 Marine drops, Tim not quite done yet. I really don't want to see him commit with this drop either. If there is no Stargate, it's obviously always fine. I don't know where exactly medevacs are safe here. I'm not ultra familiar with all the dead air spots on these maps. Decides to unload in the bottom right side. I guess that's a very safe way of going about it. Déca goes for a quick storm. Prioritizes storm as an opener over either more gateways or double charge or double forge or even immortal colossus. Yeah, to each their own. I think it's a bit risky, but it might work out. Obviously, Déca is off to a very, very good start here in game 3. Déca is very suspicious of that medevac that he caught a glimpse of earlier. Inex needs to be careful. This game has already gone quite bad. Boost out, mate. Boost out. No, not to the left. Okay. He's gonna leave it here because there is apparently safe dead airspace. Could get feedback. There's a lot of energy. That's gonna deal like 100 damage. It won't kill the medevac, but it gets very close to killing it. And now you can drop another feedback and give or take 20 seconds, and then you would probably kill it. That's a great feedback. Well done. Maybe a little bit on for... Ooh, Inex sees a Warp Prism. We were thinking of a Storm drop, guys. No, can the Warp Prism get recalled? I think we already used recall. I think recall might still be on cooldown. Is this a safe spot for the Prism? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god. There's 0% chance that Déca actually knew about that. He prayed. Where are the PvP logos? I deleted the logos mod, mate, because I had the Platinum Heroes tournament last... Was it Saturday? Last Saturday? And then we had all the Platinum Heroes logos everywhere. But then I also deleted that one because I didn't want to have Platinum Hero logos non-stop. I mean, the logos are a bit of a bonus. We did like 27 weeks in a row with BBB logos on the map. I can bring it back. I don't think it's breaking the broadcast over here. Couple of storms land. There is a 19 worker advantage on the side of Déca. Déca in a really good spot. Does not have recall. This drop can honestly be quite sick, but the tanks are exposed, and that is the right amount of Zealots to get on top of the tanks. Oh, that is unfortunate for INexorable. I overall like the idea of this drop. I would have loved one tank on the high ground, one tank on the low ground. And then I think this would have gone a whole lot better. We do have a storm drop as well on the other side of the map. That is the 13 SCVs going down. I think Déca is really showing us why he was the favorite. High Templar could kill this medevac right now, by the way. With a single feedback. This medevac with 8 marines inside of it would be dead. And INexorable, his supply would go even worse. There is that feedback. We knew Déca was waiting for it. One shot, all the kills. And it's starting to look like we are looking at a 2-1 lead for our French Protoss. INexorable does have a third base. And he might try, but he's so far behind. I think that game 2 loss really got to him a little bit. It is incredibly difficult to control your emotions, especially in a series where if you feel like you're the underdog, okay, you got off to a great start. You played an amazing and clean and solid first game. You start feeling a little bit better. Then in game 2, you scout another proxy. You start feeling even more confident. And then somehow you mess it up by just making 1 or 2 really bad choices. It's difficult to just shake it off and continue playing Starcraft like nothing happened. This time the Warp Prison with the High Templars inside should die. Wow, another recall. Protoss truly is Busto. We have replaced Coco's second overcharge with Coco's second recall. That is the third recall in an 11-minute game. High Templar looking for a snipe. Honestly, I kind of like how INEX prefers sniping over EMPing. Often gets the kill. Take recall out of the game, please. Hey, these snipes are really good. It's a little bit too late, but the snipes are excellent. This almost makes you wonder why we don't see more snipes all the time. I don't know if we have to take recall out of the game, but I do think that at this point, like especially the double recall nonsense is a bit much. It's a great storm by Déca. I also think that 3 recalls in an 11-minute game is probably pushing it a little bit. Couple of great EMPs, and as good of a fight as INexorable was ever going to find, I don't think it's going to be enough because there is just too much Protoss. But the Liberators got a couple of good shots off. The Marines and Marauders were doing that thing, and EMP landed. And in the end, Déca with his 4 superior economy takes the 2-1 lead. Definitely the strongest game coming out of Déca so far. INEX will probably be fuming a little more over game 2 than he is over game 3. But the series ain't over yet. Let's go on. Thank you, Gross Papa, for the 28 months, 4 in a row. Merci beaucoup. One of my favorite resubs. Every time I see it, guys, old man gets happy. Can't help it. It's different. You know, you've got some beautiful ladies out there. That's awesome. But then you get Gross Papa. I can't hide it. I'll start blushing a little. The ladies, you know, we can handle. But if Gross Papa stops by, I start blushing a little. It is what it is. Alright, game 4. Let's hope we can hop into our first game 5 of the night. In give or take 10-15 minutes. Incorporeal. Okay. I expect Déca to play very similar to what he just did in game 3. I think if you are the favorite as a Protoss, it just makes sense. 1 gate, fast expand, Twilight Council, battery, scout what is happening. And what I have noticed of a lot of INexorable, his TVPs, is that INEX is not that greedy. If anything, I think he's very conservative and very safe with his openings. So you can absolutely justify going double battery, because he's also dealing some economic damage to himself with a lot of the high ground CCs and the double gas openings. I agree, the Swiss Nick. I like INEX. INEX is a nice guy. I've played against him twice on the ladder in the last week. I lost a 28-minute game or something on the Migdala that I think I was winning. But then I tried to go through some rocks with Colossus. And it turns out that it takes longer for Colossus to kill some rocks than it would have taken if I did it with my own hands. And then my entire army was in a horrible spot. And then we had another one on the frost line where I think I maybe got a tiny bit lucky. And even that was close. Inex is a nice kid. He's very motivated. Plays a lot. I like having him. Even though I gave him a very tough challenge today, I just like him. Hello, Lino. Lino is still on that copium. I'll be rooting for you, mate. Those will be the happiest buckies that I ever spent. Because I know how happy it would make you. And if you would ever be that happy, if that Nuremberg team suddenly wins a whole bunch of games and they go full final, I'll be happy too. I don't think it's gonna happen, mate, but... Do Colossus take longer than Queens do? Honestly, that might be close on rocks. Now, obviously, Colossus should do a lot more damage. It's just, like, in my mind, sometimes these rocks should explode when you're working with, like, 100-something army supply. You think you right-click on a rock, and it explodes. But if you only have, like, a few Zealots, and all the other Zealots are derping, and then you have a couple of Colossus, it takes surprisingly long to work your way through a set of rocks. Anyway. Top left side, guys. Scoreboard is wrong. This is correct. We are looking in the main base of GDAT, the French Protoss Déca. One map away from winning 80 buckies on the Friday night, provided by Basilisk. Bottom right side, we are looking in the main base of our Brazilian Terran player. He is down 1-2. This is INexorable. What does Closer do? Meso, is he the coach? I didn't even know that. Or is he like the director? Or is he still playing? I wouldn't be surprised if he was playing for a team like Nuremberg. Based on the performance, the few times that I tuned in, I would not be surprised if they had a 52-year-old striker. What is the match tomorrow, Lino? What do I have to look forward to? First time, by the way, guys, that INexorable is actually going to go Reaper Fast Expand on the low ground. Which I do like. That guy is thinking of... He has a normal opening, but maybe some 2-gate, 3-gate pressure? Düsseldorf. Away or at home? Because if it's away, you guys are going to get cooked. At home, tiny chance. In Düsseldorf, oh, then you're so cooked. Any guesses or insight on what time the SC2 matches might be on the Sunday on 3 McDallas? Ooh, that's a difficult question. I'm going to go with anything made from 10 a.m. local time until 6 or 7 p.m. I think 10 a.m. Dallas time, probably the final day starts. Either 10 or 11, maybe 11. And it will probably go until 6, 7 or 8, give or take. But I don't know. I will not be there, but I will probably be covering a lot of the games from home. Either talking over a stream or joining the games myself. I don't know yet what the deal is going to be. I'm probably going to be very tired that weekend, because that is the weekend that I come back from South Korea. So I'm going to land home after a, Lord knows, 15-20 hour journey. And I think by the time that I make it home, maybe Dallas is starting. Perhaps I should start with casting day 2, who knows. Yeah, I think the first day I'll just relax, but the second day I'll cast. Have I ever tried Heroes of the Storm? A very tiny bit, yes, with Todd. When the game came out, I was mega excited, because I am a Dota fanboy. I'm a massive Dota fanboy. So when I heard about Blizzard making their own how's it called? MOBA? I was incredibly excited. That was going to be awesome. Then I played it, and I just didn't really like it. Didn't like the size, didn't like the pacing, didn't like the flow, didn't like the graphics, didn't like the objectives. Didn't like a whole lot. Didn't even like the heroes that much. So Déca has gone for some very weird proxy robo. It has gotten scouted. The Reaper Hellion here has serious potential. And even if you just get like 3 workers, it is already good. So far the Hellion is off to 2. We're going to drive deep into the main base. We need to fire 3 times with a Hellion to get a kill. With good control, he might be able to get that. Uno mas! Ah! He shot at the wrong probe. Yeah, after that recall, the Marines now feel confident enough to move out. And Déca, all of his creative builds are not working out. I am incredibly... Yeah, sure. I mean, that worked in game 2. Maybe it can work. This is such a big investment. Proxying a gate, proxying a robo. And I don't really get it. It is fun. I love seeing different things, don't get me wrong. But I'm also thinking like, Déca, mate, you're the favorite here. Playing a single best of 5, you get 80 bucks if you win. Now he's up 2-1, so he's doing fine. I really think that he's increasing his chances of losing by going for these builds. Be very fun to get our first game 5 of the night. Oh, we always aim for on the Friday evenings. INexorable is going to send a single Viking into the main base, going to land it. Déca pulls a few workers away, but then also leaves a couple behind. I don't really... honestly, at this point, would it be better not to pull anything away? I don't follow it too closely, Graf. I follow Arteezy on Twitch, and I see that he's streaming almost every single day in front of like 10k people. And whenever TI is going on, I always try to keep track. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of Dota over at the Esports World Cup. But there's so much happening in the scene. There are so many tournaments. It's hard for me to be like very hands-on. Like I'm a Mr. Know-It-All. I haven't really watched a whole lot in the last 2-3 years. But I will still say that I always love Dota just because of the amount of joy that Dota gave me in the past. I think it's a magical game. I do think that Deadlock really is basically a replacement of Dota. A better, newer generation kind of game. I know that everybody would agree. It's like, no, it's different, it's shooter, but... I will always love Dota. I think Dota's good. He's not destroying the buildings because he's worried. Like, obviously, empowering is good enough. It would take a very, very long time for 5 Marines to kill a robot, to kill a gateway. I think he didn't want to stick around that long in case something would go wrong. Maybe if he has 5 Marines here, he doesn't have stim, doesn't have a medevac, he doesn't have any way to save them, right? He has no micro potential. He is worried about getting swarmed by something like Zealots with charge early on, or a couple Stalkers showing up, so... Just empowering was good enough in the eyes of INexorable. He will of course kill them later, but he wants to do that when he feels very safe. Just leave 2 Marines. 2 Marines won't kill it. Like, it would take 7 years for 2 Marines to kill a gateway and a robo. So then a Stalker is going to show up, and then you're just donating 2 Marines. If you want to kill it, you're going to need a bigger army. You're going to need some real firepower. And then you need to make sure that you can actually deal with the Protoss jumping on you. Yeah, but once more, if you leave 2 Marines, you're going to lose 2 Marines, and then you still don't know, because then you're in the dark again, unless you send out another Marine. INEX has handled this fine, mate. Don't worry about it. Sure, in hindsight, you can say, oh, he safely could have done X, Y, or Z, but that's something we know. That's not something he could have known. It's a large map. He is down 1-2 in a best of 5. I understand that he doesn't want to throw away any units. He is going to get them later on. It's fine. I do not think it's a mistake. DT gets warped in. On the bottom left side, Warp Prism is going to try its luck. We have a couple Vikings. They are controlling the top right side of the main. Raven is moving out of position. Oh, those are High Templars, not Dark Templars. Those are High Templars. The Storm Drop from Déca kills 11. Way more exciting than Dark Templars. But Warp Prism kind of cooked now. Do we have another Coco Recall? Warp Prism with 2 High Templars. It's so cooked. It's so cooked. It doesn't even matter. Guys, we have a double drop happening on the other side of the map as well. We land a couple of feedbacks. That is good. I think INexorable is going to have to pick up this unit. Get the hell out of here. Stalker Storm at least. No. No. Unload, unload, unload. You're always going to lose everything anyway, mate. Unload as quickly as you can. He goes deep into the main. You have to unload. If you don't unload, you're going to lose everything. You know that. Does manage to get a lot of units out. Maybe suicide on a couple of the workers. This was a lot of supply, though, that he lost. But he's going to try to use this chaos by jumping on these High Templars. It's a little bit risky, and this is a very tiny Terran army. The Ghost showed up late, and INexorable throws away his lead by being overly aggressive against Zealots and High Templars. He's not necessarily down and out, but he's down 19 workers now. That's pretty painful. Uh-oh, INEX. The medevacs weren't there. Now the Ghosts are very exposed. These Ghosts could get jumped on by Zealots. First Ghost dies, second Ghost dies. Oh no, INEX, mate. INEX. We have one more High Templar. Excuse me, we have plenty High Templar. We have one more Ghost. Well, maybe the second part of this fight will go a little bit better for the Brazilian Terran. Can he chase down all these High Templars? He's going to get a lot of them. Tags a few with concussive shells, gets the Archon. Meanwhile, The invisible guy is gonna show up with a sword. Do we have Raven? No, we don't have a Raven anymore. Apparently we had a missile turret. That's honestly kind of goated. And we've got another missile turret. INX. Don't lose too many SCVs, mate. What a game between these two. Absolute chaos at this point. That guy has no more army. But he does have all the Templars. DTs, High Templars. Or at least he had them. You know, INX. Oh! That would have been really bad, guys. If he loses another full medevac, that would have been omega painful. Cannot afford to lose it. 49 army supply advantage on the side of our Brazilian Terran. Only one upgrade. He is rebuilding his ghost. Let's try to just get another cancel, maybe. This series deserves a game 5. They've both had their moments throughout this best of 5. I am definitely very proud of the way that INX has played this one. He is once more showing us that he can absolutely hang with some of the finer Protoss players out there. Sure, Déca is not for Jumi. He's no Hearthstone or Showtime, but Déca really is quite strong. When INX is playing a more than competitive series. Tiny bit of a throw maybe by this with this very chaotic attack where we left the tank exposed. It was chaos. And then here the ghost, excuse me, where was it? Yeah, it was here. The ghosts were a little bit too exposed as well, so they got jumped upon. But still turned that battle around, which was impressive. It is always crazy how much impact a single Wither Mine or something can have. One mine, one EMP, and all of a sudden the Terran is like, hey, we can stand our ground and fight. We can turn this one around. By the way, Nocti, I saw that you were getting clapped by Conqueror in Battle Aces. After we played today, I was watching Conqueror a little bit. And I saw you got destroyed by mortars. So that's what I have to do, eh? After you took my ladder points, you gave them to the German man. Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts. Army honestly kind of clumped up on the side of INX, and there are so many Stalkers remaining. +2 armor is pretty big. I feel like if INexorable had like 3 more medevacs here, this would be a relatively fine fight. He's got 2 more medevacs showing up, but he's having a hard time landing those dream EMPs, and that means Déca, the French Protoss, will hold once more. Throwing down a scan. Can we land a second EMP? Can we land an EMP? We do. First on the army, the second one on the High Templars. Means the High Templar is exposed. The other 2 are forced to become an Archon. Unlike Dragon Ball Z, there is no love story here. They did not want it. They got picked off immediately. If it was Dragon Ball Z, this best of 5 would go on for 7 hours. I'll tell you guys to tune in next Friday to find out what happens in the next episode of Déca versus INexorable. Unfortunately. Those days are behind us. That is kind of risky. That is very risky. It's not Protoss army is a bit split up. The Stalkers are all by themselves. We do land 1 storm. This is just nuts. What are we going to have now? The Stalker flank? What are the Stalkers doing? They're picking up the reinforcements. Well, what about the main fight, Déca? Déca says, Roddy, I've got +2, mate. And my Zealots won't die. The Wither Mines are now burrowing behind the Protoss army. And Archons showed up as well in the middle of all of this. The Zealots are going to run headfirst into all the mines. The Stalkers come back. This is a bizarre fight, an absolutely bizarre fight. The Ghost in the end dies. No! The triple F2 on the side of INexorable. And Déca turns things around. That was a bizarre fight. With that blink to the other side. They couldn't retreat. That was so silly. What are we doing now? We are unloading a couple of units. Maybe an EMP. Losing the orbital here would be disastrous. We have to repair it. The little SCVs that could. That is a big repair. That is a very, very, very big repair. Much needed repair. That guy's in such a good spot now. Oh, INX, matey. Oh, INX. It's not quite able to close it out. Things getting a little bit too hectic. I had no idea who was flanking who was surrounding who. Who was basically getting the fight that they signed up for and that they were looking for, but with a few Liberators, things could potentially turn around, but upgrades are so freaking important. And economically, this game is not becoming any prettier for INexorable. Now that guy is also a little bit impatient, and maybe if he pushes his luck before he's got extended thermal lens, this could still go wrong. He doesn't have immediate reinforcements here. He is thinking of flanking with High Templars. INEX takes a look at his army and says, you know what, I'm not that worried about it. He's going to stim in High Templars all by themselves. Oh, the storm. The French storm by Déca is good. That was a very adventurous journey that those High Templars took. But it is good enough. Planetary still not done. All the buy units low on HP. The SCVs are coming, but extra Zolots show up. I think that is just good enough for Déca. A fun series, a series that I think deserved a Game 5. It should have had a Game 5. But in the end, it goes to our 5.7k Protoss from France. Déca will walk away with the 80 buckies tonight. INexorable will still get a 20. But hey, honestly, that was a fun series. I know I gave INEX a very, very tough challenge. I knew that he was an underdog here. But honestly, I think he handled himself really well. I think he played strong. He created opportunities for himself. He could have absolutely won that second game. I think he should have won that second game. And his last game was competitive. That also could have gone INEX's way. Only the third game of the series was a bit hopeless. But overall, I think it was fun. I think a good learning moment as well for INEX. And I'm sure that Déca had a good time playing some games on the Friday night. Walks away with 80 buckies. He'll take it. GG's, guys. GG's. That was fun. Enjoyed it. Alright, next up, TVZ. I had a TVZ main event in mind for this week. Unfortunately, that one fell through because my Terran said, not this week, maybe next week, Roddy. I was like, alright, next week it is then. And then I moved some things around. Then I came up with this one. And I was like, you know what? This is a fun one. Because for the life of me, I don't know who is the favorite here. So, let's find out together. I'm curious what you guys will vote for. But for the life of me, I've got no idea who is supposed to win this one. You guys believed in Déca, and you guys were right, but it was kind of close. Mixu versus Epic. Best of 5. BBB. Go main. Big Brain Bouts number 95. The winner gets 100 buckies and the loser gets 25. You guys believe in Mixu, the Finnish Phenom. The tiny Finnish Phenom. The finisher. Or do you guys believe in Epic, the American Terran player? It's been a long time since we've had Epic, but I think Epic he's always been a guy that I'm just a fan of. He's been such a strong player, even way before he had any success in the regionals and whatnot. What if I absolutely had to pick? Well, you have to give me a couple minutes, mate. I'm going to have to think about it. It is exactly 8 p.m. and that is the time that I told my gamers. I think Mixer is here, but Epic is not here yet. So, let's see. He says ready whenever. Channel ready stream it. At NA. Mixer is there. We can do the videos and stuff and do NA, EU, NA, EU. You're East? Oh. I think Epic is East Coast, yeah. Yeah, let's just start NA. Alright. Is Mixu active? Mixu's always active, mate. Mixu was born active. I don't know. I'll give it a couple minutes, and by the time that I come back from my break, I'll let you guys know who I would pick if I truly have to pick between Mixu and Epic. But I think this is a very, very difficult one to predict. What does Illegal say? You guys can let me know what the machines say. Then I will probably disagree with the machine. I'll be right back. See you guys soon. Mixu Epic. Go main coming up.